Hey there. I've been reading a lot about Alberta's economy, and it seems like oil and gas production plays a massive role. How important do you think it really is?
Hi. You're absolutely right. Oil and gas production have historically been crucial to Alberta's economy. It's not just important, it's the backbone of the province's economic activity. The industry contributes significantly to jobs, revenue, and overall economic stability.
That's interesting. Could you elaborate on how oil and gas impact Alberta's job market?
Of course. The oil and gas sector is a major employer in Alberta. It creates jobs not only within the industry, but also in related sectors like construction, transportation, and manufacturing. These spin-off jobs support a significant portion of the population, from engineers and geologists to trades people and administrative staff.
That's a wide range of employment opportunities. What about the revenue generated from oil and gas production?
Alberta relies heavily on the revenue generated from oil and gas royalties and taxes. When oil prices are high and production is booming, the government's coffers swell, enabling them to invest in infrastructure, health care, education, and various public services. This revenue is crucial for maintaining a high quality of life for Albertans.
So, if the oil and gas industry experiences a downturn, it can have a significant impact on the province's finances?
Absolutely. Alberta's economy is closely tied to the global oil market. When prices plummet, as we've seen in the past, the province can face budget deficits, leading to cutbacks in public services or increased taxes. It creates economic uncertainty and affects the well-being of residents.
It seems like a double-edged sword then. On one hand, it provides jobs and revenue, but on the other, it's susceptible to market fluctuations. Are there any efforts to diversify Alberta's economy?
Yes, diversification has been a goal for Alberta for some time now. The government has been working to encourage growth in other sectors like technology, agriculture, and renewable energy. These efforts aim to reduce the province's dependence on oil and gas and make the economy more resilient to market volatility.
That's a smart move, considering the global push for renewable energy and environmental sustainability. Speaking of which, how does oil and gas production impact the environment in Alberta?
Oil and gas extraction does have environmental impacts, including greenhouse gas emissions, habitat disruption, and water use. These issues have led to concerns about environmental sustainability. However, it's worth noting that the industry has made strides in improving its environmental performance through technology and regulations.
That's good to hear. It's crucial to strike a balance between economic development and environmental responsibility. Are there any specific environmental regulations in place to mitigate these impacts?
Yes, Alberta has implemented various regulations to address environmental concerns. These include emissions reduction targets, land reclamation requirements, and strict water management rules. The province also has a carbon pricing system to encourage emissions reduction.
That's reassuring. It shows that Alberta is taking steps to address environmental challenges. I've also heard about the controversial topic of pipelines. How do they fit into this picture?
Pipelines are a critical part of Alberta's oil and gas infrastructure. They are used to transport crude oil and natural gas to markets, both domestically and internationally. The construction and operation of pipelines have generated jobs and revenue for the province. However, they have also been a source of environmental and Indigenous rights concerns.
It seems like there's a delicate balance to be maintained between economic development and environmental stewardship, as well as respecting Indigenous rights. Are there any ongoing discussions or initiatives to address these issues?
Yes, there are ongoing discussions and initiatives aimed at finding solutions that balance economic, environmental, and social considerations. These include consultations with Indigenous communities, environmental impact assessments, and efforts to improve pipeline safety and technology.
It's good to know that stakeholders are actively engaging in dialogue to find a common ground. Shifting gears a bit, I've heard about the concept of petrostates. Does Alberta fall into that category?
The term petrostate typically refers to countries whose economies are heavily dependent on oil exports. While Alberta isn't a country, it shares similarities with petrostates in the sense that its economy has been highly reliant on oil and gas. However, As I mentioned earlier, there are efforts to diversify the economy and reduce this dependency.
Right, so Alberta is working towards becoming less of a petrostate. It's fascinating how the dynamics of oil and gas can impact not just the economy, but also politics and society. Has the province experienced any political challenges related to its reliance on the industry?
Yes, Alberta's economic reliance on oil and gas has sometimes led to political tensions, especially in dealings with the federal government. Disputes over energy policy, carbon pricing, and resource development have at times strained the relationship between Alberta and the rest of Canada.
I can see how that would be a contentious issue. It's a complex situation with no easy solutions. Are there any specific policies or strategies the provincial government is pursuing to navigate these challenges?
The provincial government has been advocating for policies that support the oil and gas industry, such as reducing regulatory barriers and expanding market access for Alberta's energy products. At the same time, they are also promoting diversification efforts and working on policies to address environmental concerns.
So, it's a multifaceted approach aimed at balancing economic interests and environmental responsibility. It's been enlightening to learn about the intricacies of Alberta's economy and its reliance on oil and gas. Is there anything else you think is important to know about this topic?
One important aspect to consider is the global energy transition. As the world moves towards cleaner energy sources, Alberta faces the challenge of adapting its economy to these changes. It's an ongoing process with both opportunities and challenges, but the province is actively working towards a more sustainable and diversified future.
Thank you for sharing your insights. It's clear that Alberta's economy is deeply intertwined with oil and gas, and its ability to navigate the evolving energy landscape will be critical for its future prosperity.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure discussing this topic with you. Alberta's economic journey is indeed a fascinating and complex one, and I'm optimistic about its ability to adapt and thrive in the years to come.